Guys, what's up? Welcome back to Fore Dads Podcast, episode 3. You have myself, Tease, and Don Julio here. Just gonna start talking about, to start everything off with, last night's World Series no-hitter. I think it's the second no-hitter in
ever in World Series
history, which is crazy. What do you think is more difficult, of a no-hitter by one pitcher or a no-hitter by multiple pitchers?
I have to say a no-hitter by multiple pitchers, because if you could imagine coming out of the bullpen knowing that there's a no-hitter going, like, you have to keep it going. And I remember, in high school, we had a combined no-hitter on senior day.
No way.
Yeah, and that was tough because nobody talked about it, and if you weren't paying attention, you didn't know. And the number one rule, you don't talk about it. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. I remember Jake Martinez started, and then I came in, and then LeBron Sanderson came in, and then I think
that's crazy.
I think Blake Dunn shut it out.
Man,
that was it.
Dang. Yeah, I feel like for one,
against Memorial too.
Oh, no way. Dang. Yeah. That definitely probably felt good too, especially against them, man. Was Pizzo on that team? Brandon Pizzo?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, man, that kid.
Yeah.
I feel like as a hitter, it's more difficult. It's easier to get no hit versus multiple pitchers, because like you see a guy 3 to 4 times, you have an easier time, hitting against them because you've seen him multiple times. They're not going to, you kind of understand what to expect. But when you have a brand new pitcher that's fresh out of the pen, throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour, especially in the pros. If you're not throwing like sub 95, you're either a submariner or you're a lefty that just throws crazy sidearm. And yeah, I just think it's nuts because the last no-hitter that happened in the playoffs was Roy Halladay. I still remember 2010. I was driving home from practice at Cuesta College, and one of my friends texted or called me and says, "Hey, Roy Halladay just threw a no-hitter," because I was talking some smack about Roy Halladay or something like that day. And I was like, he's a good pitcher, but like, we're going to see how he's going to do. It's his first, I think it was his first like playoff start. And he ends up throwing a no-hitter. And then ironically, the Phillies get no hit last night. But I feel like that was just nuts because they hit what, 5 home runs the night before with all those pitches that Musgrove was giving off, like, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's tipping his pitches here, he's tipping his pitches there." Hey, and when you pitched, did you think about that a little bit? Like when you're not maybe when you were pitching, but like, practicing and stuff like that, trying to not give away your pitches. How did you like try to prevent that?
Honestly, I don't think you meant Musgrove, right? Not Musgrove.
Was it Musgrove?
Musgrove's on.
No, okay, he's the one from Padres, right? He's on the Padres.
Nola? Yeah, Musgrove's on the Padres.
Who am I thinking of?
But no, going back to your question, honestly, I made everything look the same. So the same type of violence, the same type of speed in my delivery, everything was the same. Right. It was more of just how hard I was pushing off. I think more compared to like trying to really gear something up, like wiggle my shoulders a little. I was always pretty calm, cool, and collected unless I was pissed, and then I really started to speed up. And everything was kind of like, I just want to get the motor going like 0 to 100 as fast as I could, compared to just being smooth and then drive and fire. Right. But yeah, dude, still a no-hitter it's hard. In my career, I had 6. 3 of them came from travel ball. One was during my collegiate summer league. Obviously the one in high school, and then I threw one in college, and then one in JUCO. So
a full, or you were part of one?
Well, a full 9. I had 2 full 9 innings
in college.
Well, actually 3. Yeah, 3 full 9 innings in college.
As in no hitters, you threw 3 no hitters in college. What? Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Closest I ever had was my first start in CAA, the Colonial Association, when I was at Hofstra. I we faced George Mason University, like the first like Cinderella story basketball team, like back in early 2000s that made it to the Final Four. And dude, I was dealing. I still remember this game, dude. The first like 5 innings, I was still in like 92, 91, 92. I was like, for me, that was high. And it was like 52 degrees. It was cold.
Yeah, and you were a lefty
No, no,
too.
no. I'm a righty. I'm a righty.
Oh, I thought you were
No,
a lefty.
I write left-handed. I write left-handed. I write left-handed. I kick left-footed, but I throw righty. But dude, like, I've been like working on a split change for the longest time because for whatever reason I couldn't throw a circle. Like just that, the throwing it off like your middle finger just felt so foreign to me, and I tried it for so long it just wouldn't work. And I got a Vulcan change kind of a thing going on where I was able to get it. And dude, it was like full count change. Just I probably had like 8 or 9 Ks through the first 5 innings, just absolutely crushing it. And then the 6th inning comes up. We are away and we have bases loaded, no outs, and they get out of a jam and they don't give up a run. So it's still 0-0. And then I give up like 2 minky little hits and we lose like 3-1 or something like that. And I end up getting the loss. But that was like the one time that I still remember where I was like the only time that I really got close to like getting like a no hitter. But like besides that, like going back to like tipping pitches and stuff as well, like when I first started pitching, my goal was to first find the arm slot because I didn't pitch really at all. In high school, I pitched maybe like 2 to 3 innings. In college, it was my only option to play college was to pitch. I was 6 foot, like a $165. Like I, not big. I can't hit home runs. I wasn't fast. I had an arm. That was it. So like, I was like, okay, let's find an arm slot that I can throw as hard as I can. And at that time, it was like 85, 86 because I hadn't thrown. Found my 3/4 arm slot and then worked a slider in from there. And the thing that I tried the best to do was like, okay, what are you going to do to make sure that your arm slot looks the same every single time? You do not want to change that, because like you change it, you move it up a little bit. Really good players, JUCO, you're not going to have too many, but the higher up you get, the easier it is for people to pick that stuff apart. And I was really fortunate where I could throw all my pitches from that same arm slot. And when I did move my pitches to my glove, I had my split finger automatically every single time, and I'd move it if I needed to in my glove, and I could do it within 2 seconds. I see some people where they don't have it in their hand, they have the ball in their glove, and their hand on the side, and then they got to, touch it and things like that. And sometimes I feel like, man, you can easily like subconsciously not think about it and forget once or twice, and then someone might be able to pick that up. Yeah. But I thought it was crazy how successful they were, because even if you are tipping pitches, you still have to hit it, and you're hitting a round ball off a round bat, and that's just already difficult already as it is. But 5 home runs, they like made it look like they're playing like MLB the show, on rookie mode, guessing the correct pitches and just cranking them out.
They made it look like the Hawaiian team in the Little League World Series.
Every Hawaiian team in the Little League World Series, they always seem to just like be freaking insane. Have you ever noticed that though? Like with the Little League World Series Hawaiian teams, like you don't hear of that many successful Hawaiian like professional players, but they always have like stud World Series teams.
Like. That's not entirely true. I mean, I think there's a lot of kids that come out of the island that end up making a good career for themselves in the MLB. Now, when you talk about like the wow moments where someone really stuck out, there's not too many. I mean, I think the top ones that we all remember is like Victorino, right? From the Red Sox, and also an ex-Philly too. He was really good. He was the center fielder, Jay, I think.
John Jay?
For the Red.
John Jay?
Yeah, John Jay.
He played, no, he was from Miami. I remember that specifically. He played at University of Miami, and his dad was like one of the drug lords. They did like a docu-series on his dad, apparently, that I didn't even know about. But his dad's from Miami in that area. So he wasn't, but I know who you're talking about. But there's not, I mean, the only.
There's a few guys, but even like going back to Todd Helton was a Little League World Series winner. You have I mean, I think the biggest one that creates the most kind of recognition is obviously Cody Bellinger, and then you had Jason Varitek, who was a little kid, or who
Todd
was a little
Frazier
World Series
as well.
player. Yeah, Todd Frazier, the New York kid. Like they had everyone. I remember that. Like, yeah, there's a long list of kids that have won and all kind of got to the major leagues. But going back to what you said about Hawaiian kids, they've always been competitors, but the ones that California's always been a good team. The other one I would have to say is like anybody Midwest coming from like Louisiana, Tennessee.
Oh, you mean Southeast?
Southeast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All of those guys those teams are always competitors too. But like, I mean, I remember even playing like Team USA, like Japan, Korea, Taiwan. Those kids. I mean, that's just a different breed of ball player at that age. Because I mean, I remember going to Japan and seeing the baseball academies, and I mean, when you're talking like doing that as school, I mean, you're doing 6 hours of baseball training a day with 2 hours of arithmetic or language learning, and they highlighted that even with like Ichiro. Ichiro came out through one of those systems. Same with Shohei Ohtani, and yeah, I mean, I remember when coaches used to freak out when you would throw like 100 pitch bullpens, right? Just to get your arm moving, get it ready for whatever.
Right.
Dude, these kids are 13, 15 years old throwing 200 pitch bullpens, 300 pitch bullpens, or sitting there throwing 100 curveballs to the same spot just to get that rotation, just to get that spot, that motion dialed.
Yeah.
Like. And these kids, and you don't hear a lot of these kids having injuries, and that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Like even till this day, it's still like, how is it that a 12-year-old in America can throw a curveball, right? All of a sudden, the kid has elbow issues,
right?
Kid has shoulder issues, but a kid from Japan throws 100 curveballs a day, and only gets stronger.
Right. I mean, it's definitely something that you've seen a huge uptick in, like UCL injuries, in California, or not in California, in the United States for pitching. And I feel like if you look back at it, a lot of people attribute it to kids only pitching. That's all they do. They don't play football. They aren't quarterbacks. They aren't playing basketball. They aren't throwing anything else, throughout the year, or playing other sports to work on their other muscles. And it could attribute to that. A lot of people say that the angle that you're throwing, off the mound is the issue. If you were to pitch on flat ground, you wouldn't have those issues. I don't know if that's true 100%, but that's what a lot of these.
Wow, I've never heard that. That's
these analysts are saying. But I mean, you go back to like Nolan Ryan, 5,000 strikeouts. He pitched for over 20 years, throwing over like 95 miles an hour, like his whole career. And this guy would have like over 200 pitches a game. And he would like be ready for the next one. He would throw like, I think he had back-to-back like 160 pitch like complete games. And it's like, that's insane. You don't hear about that now. But it's all really also about like recovery and stuff like that as well. Like what you do, not just of course relaxing, but building that arm strength, getting your little muscles all ready to roll. Because as a kid, you're not really recommended to work out, because like you can stunt your growth. There's a lot of growth still going on. It's like wait until you're older, until you're kind of growing into your body and not hurting your development as an adult, or stunting your growth. And I don't know. I don't think that the pitch count is as big of an issue as people say. I think it is if that's all that they do, but at the same time, that's just an opinion. There's nothing to back that up with. But
yeah. I mean, kind of going back to like what you said about stemming your growth and stuff like that. Like, I think there's a lot more stuff that you can do as a parent to strengthen your kid, for any sports or even just in general, just to build good discipline, to kind of build the mentality, just to build good healthy examples, like push-ups. My dad used to
good
make,
habits.
used to make me do, yeah, he used to make me do like 50 push-ups a night, um, constantly getting in with sit-ups. I mean, even just getting your kid to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a huge thing that has kind of come to a halt now
Right.
with kids being
Yeah,
outside.
just
Kids
being a
would much
kid.
rather,
Just being a kid, just
yeah,
doing stuff as that boys do, just running
yeah,
around and having fun.
exactly. Exactly. There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into it. But what do you, so let's move into a little golf here,
Mm-hmm.
since, we are a golf podcast.
Right? Yeah.
What do you think of the LIV Tour congratulating Dustin Johnson on 4 events, getting $36 million and not even winning? Not even winning. Just placing within like the top 10.
I think it's like a big FU to the PGA Tour. Like, hey, look at this guy. Look at how much money he's won.
Ooh.
Let's make this huge event to like, huge
Ooh.
congratulatory. And like, look at, like, he hasn't won the event. He's a great player. He's still working his butt off. It's not like he's, not taking it serious, because like
Yeah.
professional athletes, like I feel like a lot of people don't truly understand it. And obviously I was a somewhat semi-professional, but nothing too crazy. Like, any guy, we have competitive juices, like we don't want to lose. No matter who it is, you don't want to lose. And when you're on TV, you don't want to lose in front of people. You want to win no matter what it takes. Even if it's a LIV Tour compared to a PGA Tour, you're not gonna, not try. And just because he's not trying or not winning doesn't mean he's not trying. And at the same time, it's like, there was a PGA Tour player last year. I forget who it was off the top of my head. It's a funny quote, and someone's like, "Hey, you haven't won in like 10 years. Like, why do you keep playing?"
Kevin Kisner.
Was it Kisner?
Kevin Kisner.
Yeah, I love Kevin Kisner. Oh,
Yeah.
he's on definitely one of my top favorite golfers. But he was like, "Why do you keep playing? You haven't won in like 10 years." He goes, "Well, you make pretty good amount of money for coming in 20th. Like." It was like, it's like in golf, that's it. You have, like, if you make the cut, that's the goal. The first goal is to make the cut. The second goal is to obviously get as high on that leaderboard as you can to bring home as much money as you can, because you're not guaranteed anything like you are in golf, or like, sorry, compared to any other sport.
Yeah.
Any other sport, you could have that contract and maybe, take a couple of days off, still play, but like not give it your all.
Guaranteed money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guaranteed
exactly.
Money. That's what it is. I think that's the biggest difference is like golf. I guess tennis you get your sponsorship guaranteed, but you get bonuses when you win and when you place within certain. But I think golf is literally the only sport where you
earn how good you are, how good you earn that.
Everything, everything that goes into your tournament comes out of your pocket, right? I mean, sure, travel expenses. I think, sponsors maybe might put up some money for some of their top players. Like, obviously, look at TaylorMade with, like, they got Tiger, Rory, freaking Colin Morikawa. They got John Brom's Callaway now. No.
Yeah, he was TaylorMade. Now he's Callaway.
I mean, yeah. But, they still have Dustin Johnson. They have they got all these guys, Rory,
But those are the top guys. But those are the top guys, though, like if you're not like a top 10 on their list.
But those are like the only dudes. But those are like the only dudes, though. Those are the only guys that, to guys like you and I, just average Joes, like those are the only dudes that fucking matter. Unless you see like a guy like William, like Zalatoris start coming up and he's a Titleist dude, right? It's like, oh, whoa, look at that guy. But there's not too many guys like that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Every focus.
That's what I'm saying. Not many people have that opportunity.
And I think that's like the biggest. I think that's honestly like the biggest thing with the PGA is that they focus so much on their big players, right? The guys the wow guys, but the LIV focuses on everyone. And since they're with YouTube right now, they're all on YouTube TV. Everything is streamed right now. Like what you would pay for like the PGA Tour Plus feature, whatever it is, where you can follow like your specific player, you can follow everything. It's like now you can do that for free with LIV, and they're not losing any money, right? It's kind of like, well, how is it that they're able to provide such a more personalized kind of favorite, experience compared to like the PGA where it's only the big name dudes. Like unless someone is absolutely just killing it, like some amateur who made a cut to be there, is killing it. It's like you don't see anybody else. I mean, it's always the featured groups with like
no, exactly. And I mean, like I just thought of this and I was thinking like, You know, like the XFL has been trying to push its thing on the NFL. You know, like trying to make its name out
Well, the
there.
XFL now is actually the XFL is now, well, because the Rock bought it. So Dwayne the Rock Johnson bought the XFL. He's like the commissioner of it, but he's now partnered with the NFL as having it like a, I don't want to say a minor league
No, I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
to the NFL, because I know a lot of those guys. You know, I feel like I'm discrediting a lot of
Yeah,
those
right.
a lot of those football players. You know, there's two guys already who have moved up, playing in the NFL now, who are killing it. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but they're playing for, I think one dude. No,
Well,
yeah, I'd have to look. I'd have to look into it. I don't want to give any name, but
right. No,
I know there's two quarterbacks.
but what I'm saying is like the XFL and the NFL, like that kind of was they're trying to go at it, right? Like XFL was trying to like make its name before this whole rock bottom and everything, right? And so they would have to do things out of the ordinary. Like when the XFL originally came out, they put like what the camera in their mask, right? So you can get like that live what they're looking at kind of a thing, which NFL never had to do that. You know, they're trying these things out of the box. I think they had one where did they have like a sensor in the football, and like every player had like a sensor in their helmet, so you could track every player on like a screen, like looking at a video game kind of a thing. But just like these different camera angles and things that they're trying to get their name out there, kind of like what every Android phone does. They come out with the brand new ideas, cool little features, and then the iPhone goes, cool, now we'll add that to our phone next, thanks. And like 6 months they added it in their phone. You know, it's kind of like what they're doing with like Liv's trying all these new things. Oh, you can play with shorts, that's cool, that's not a big deal. I mean, it doesn't matter if you want to play with shorts, play in shorts.
I mean, they should. I mean, going and playing freaking Arizona in February for the waste management. Oh, dude, my nutsack would hate me.
Oh my gosh,
for wearing pants.
When they played in freaking what was it, like 10 years ago, they played in Tulsa in like July, and it was like 98 with like 100% humidity, and you're like, Tiger's wearing his black, pants with his red, iconic Tiger red, and it's
and then he had to change his shirt like 3 times.
It's freaking nuts, dude. It's like maybe some days, but like I get like they're trying to stay consistent, but PGA doesn't have to go those extra steps because they've been so successful for so long. But the LIV, they're trying to make their mark, and so they're trying to do whatever they can, and I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to do. But now LIV has those players to go with it as well. They don't just have like lower end players. They have like the top guys.
LIV in my opinion is just it's the people's tour. Like,
not the country club
it's
people.
The tour where
Muni guys.
Yeah, it's the tour where your average Sunday, your Thursday skins, your Saturday skins guy can go out there, get tanked, have a good time with the boys or girls, and have a good time. I mean, it's in my opinion, it's starting to be the new modern today golf experience. Even, dude, they even have bev carts out.
That's
there.
what I was going to think.
They have bev carts. I saw it on Instagram. They have bev carts running through, and they do all kinds of stuff, from like making like breakfast burritos to now having like you could do shots, you could do everything. I mean, you're breaking an arm and a leg to even go to the PGA Tour and ask for a shot of tequila. It's going to be like $25, But again, it's the PGA is your country clubber. It's your guy who works for the club, says he's a +1, goes out and shoots 92. Like, oh, I just had a bad day, right? It's your sandbagger dishonest. Oh yeah, look, I have my Homa clubs with gold in them.
Right.
I have this type of, I drive this car. Look, I can wear Ralph Lauren, X. I can wear my Peter Millar. I can wear all my fancy clothes. Check me out, but I can't fucking putt. I can't play for shit. So I'm gonna live it through these, right? I think that's ultimately what it's turning into. Is
right.
Yeah, it's the Sunday, it's the weekend golfer.
It's the
weekend golfer.
The Cappy Gilmore would 100% be in the LIV Tour, and
There
Shooter
you go.
McGavin
Yeah,
would 100% stay in the
exactly.
PGA Tour. And like Happy is
Yeah,
meant for the LIV
exactly.
Tour. I mean,
Exactly.
imagine if they came out with like a Happy
Exactly.
Gilmore 2 where he comes back and he's playing on the LIV Tour. You know, fans are going crazy on the side. He shows up on the concerts, just having a good time, you know, just drinking
Yeah.
with the fans.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly probably what Happy Gilmore would be perfect for.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Gilmore started the whole thing. Freaking the Sharks saw it and was like, "Yeah, we're starting a LIV Tour after in memory of Happy
Right?
Gilmore."
Could you imagine?
Dude. So this weekend, this last weekend on Sunday, I stayed up with the baby for the majority of the night on Saturday night, and so Isis was like, "Look, you need to get out. You need to go do something." So I went out and played a skins game at Windsor, just up the street from me. Great club, you know, really fun place. It's a course that you can get after, but it's also a course that can eat you up if you're not in the right place. So I hadn't touched my club since the baby.
How long has that been?
I mean,
a few weeks
I
now?
really haven't touched
How long has that been?
No, it's a month. It's a month now, but I mean, like, it's been a month that she's here, but I really hadn't touched them. Probably about the month before she was about to come, especially when we found out that she was going to be induced. Like, I didn't even touch
right. Yeah, priorities.
So I hadn't touched them in 2 weeks, right? I get there thinking that it's at 12, but it was actually 11:30. So I'm right on time, right? Get there, get to the first tee, take out my 2-iron, rip it down the fairway. It was great. Rip it down the fairway, take a 50-degree, throw it to like I had 136 out, take my 50-degree, slightly downwind. It's tucked in the back on a downhill slope. Flew it over the pin, comes back, have a birdie putt for like from 2 feet. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I need to do this more often.
My God.
Anyways, long story short, I go out there and make 4 birdies with 1 eagle to shoot 74. I had a couple big triples and a few doubles. But to still shoot 74 and take home like $200.
Oh my God. So if you have 4 birdies and eagle, that's what, 6 under. So you would have shot 80 if you didn't have any of them. My gosh, dude, that is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. I played pretty well, and it was like my buddy Wes. His name's Wesley Booth. Cool dude. He was like, he's like, Jesus Christ, dude. He's like, I actually thought I had a chance of beating you today. He's like, what the fuck? And I was like, I told you, man. I just came out here just to have some fun. I had one focus. and it came from my buddy, really good friend of mine, Evan. He has a podcast called The Par Train. If anybody's interested in listening it, go check it out. It's all about mental wellness, talks about how to give yourself the positive pickup that you need if you're going through a hard time through the game of golf.
Right.
He told me, you got to just focus on the small things. You got to go out there with a plan, just like everything else in life. You got to have a plan. Even if you don't, you make something on the fly. And all I told myself that day was, okay, I didn't get any warm-ups. I don't know what these greens are going to do. I just want to finish every swing smooth with a balance at the end. And then that's it.
Money, dude.
So that was all I did. I did that and I was like, oh my God, dude. Like,
dude, he has some really good stuff, dude. Some really good insight. He really does.
Dude, he's great. He's great. And now that he has his wife too, he got his wife into golf and they're going playing I think they're up in Bandon right now.
Oh, really?
They're playing Bandon Dooms and she's over there out driving him by 5,
I know,
6
I saw
yards
that
from
today.
from the white tees. Dude, I was like, oh God, the dream. I mean, Isis can play. Don't get me wrong. Isis can play. She's got a smooth swing. She just doesn't have the patience.
Not many do, man. It's
right.
Tough.
And so, yeah, not many do. And so it's great. I mean, I love Evan. Evan's awesome. I've been trying to get down to LA to go play with him, but he's great, man. If anybody's out there just going through a hard time, just wants, enjoys golf and wants to kind of hear a different perspective on positivity, go check him out. Par Train, you guys you're the man, Evan. You keep doing your thing, bud.
Right? I mean, I feel like when it comes to not playing for a while and getting back out there to go, for the most part, I play a lot better than I should because my expectations are lower. I'm like, hey, you haven't practiced in a while, don't expect too much. just work on, remember this and this, like 2 little things in a swing, and then just go out there and see what happens. And I feel like majority of the time I play a lot better.
I mean, you got game, man. You got game. You play that nice little cut, and it just works in the fairway for you all the time. Then you play that nice little draw with your irons. You got game. You don't give yourself enough credit, but I understand where you're coming from as far as like I have these expectations to go out there. If I do anything less, I'm just gonna freaking lose it. Like,
I've been changing my swing up so much
that's one
since I played with you last year, which is kind of crazy that it's been over probably a year and a half now since we played. We definitely are due for another round. But I've changed my swing up so much, man. I've changed it up so much. It's not as much of a swing.
I got in a car accident the last time we played. I got in a car accident the last time we played.
God. I remember that. That guy came out of nowhere. He was, oh man, that was a great end of the day.
The good thing was I didn't have to pay anything for it. He didn't pay anything. He just said, "Hey, it was whatever," which I was so grateful for because his car just folded like a freaking lawn chair, and I barely nicked him.
Yeah, we're in a parking lot, man. We were in a dang parking lot.
Yeah, we were in a parking lot, and the guy just came on through like, "Bro, I had the right of way. What are you doing?" Crazy.
But I mean, I remember playing. Where did we play at? What was the course called?
We played at Rancho Solano.
Rancho Solano, beautiful course. I never played there at all. Never played there ever. I still remember practicing on the putting green, and they had like the most slope putting green I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, how am I supposed to tell how fast these greens are if I'm putting on like a stair? Yeah. Like, it was ridiculous. But like, dude, I think that was the best round that I had to that point. I think I shot 80 from the tips. And if I didn't double bogey par 5,
you broke 80. You broke 80.
No, I didn't. I thought I did. No, I thought I did. But the first hole, I double bogeyed the par 5 somehow. Like, I don't know how. I think I 3-putted. Like, I came something short. And like, for me, I was just like ticked. But I mean, definitely need to get up either to the Bay Area or you come down here. Actually, next Thursday, I'm going to be playing Madera Country Club. I'm going to try that out, see how that goes. It's going to be cold. I hope I'm not going to be able to. I hope I'm going to be able to get it past 260 with my driver, with how cold it's going to be. But we'll see. I mean, I'm going to record it all. Hopefully, like I tried to on my last one, but like a few of the holes didn't go through for whatever reason. I'm still learning with the GoPro, but I'm really looking forward to it because I haven't played around since I think it was like mid-October. And I think daylight savings time's coming up this weekend, so that's a little bit what I'm worried about. Like, this is what's really going to annoy the crap out of me is the fact that daylight saving time's coming up. I'm not going to have any time during the night to get any work in or anything after work. Going to the range or anything like that because it's going to be dark. And if I could have, it's cold. I don't want to. It's so dang cold outside. But
you just need to tell Stephanie that, hey, I bought you that Louis Vuitton bag. You need to let me buy a foresight for my man cave.
Dude, I have a net. I need turf. I have the room in my garage. And she's like, oh, now you want to clean the garage. Oh, now you want to clean the garage because I'm like, yeah, now I want to clean the garage. So there's a benefit here. There's a benefit, and I want it. But yeah, no, that would be the ultimate, dude, to have a little thing in the backyard. Or not in the backyard, in my garage. Do you have any setup or anything where you are? Nothing.
No, I mean, my numbers haven't changed in a pretty long time. I mean, my 58 degree is 102 yard club. My 54 degree is about 115 to 120. I'm sorry, my 54 degree. My 50 degree is anything from 140 to 130.
That's a big jump.
Pitching
dude.
wedge.
What
is
54 to 50? What is that, like a 30? Is that like a 30-minute gap or 30-yard gap? 154 to 50? You said 115 to 140?
No. So 54 degrees, 115 to 120 with a good control swing.
Yeah.
My 50 degree is anything from 130 to 140.
Okay.
So yeah, it is a little bit of a bigger jump.
Okay.
But pitching wedge, is 155 to 160. 9-iron is 165 to 170. 8-iron is 180 to it's about 180 pretty consistently. 7-iron is 200.
Okay.
My 6-iron is about 215. 5-iron is 225. 4-iron is about 230, 240.
Dang.
3-iron, 3-iron's about 255, 265. My 2-iron is 172 on the dot. Carry, no matter
272.
no matter how I hit it. 272 on the dot, no matter how I hit it. But it's low and it rolls. So I've had times where I've hit it and I've hit like a 310 yard 2-iron, and I'm like, how the fuck did my ball get all the way over here?
My goodness.
3-wood is, 3-wood with a high cut is 280 to 285 on the dot. If I hit a draw, it's about 285 to 290. Teed off the tee box, I can get it three bills. Mm-hmm. Driver will be 325 to 330. Pretty consistent.
Do those numbers change depending on the weather? Because I know for me, like I probably average about like 5 to 10 yards more in the summer. And in the winter when it's colder and I'm bundled up, it's 5 to 10 yards less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do, but I mean, it's still pretty consistent. Like I got a pretty good feel for my game. So even if it means like clubbing up 2 clubs and choking down and just kind of holding it off underneath my chest, I can still hit a 7-iron, 150 with a smooth 3/4 swing just from hip to hip, and just hammer it up there and it's good.
Nice. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those are like Bryson DeChambeau numbers, dude. Oh, and I tell you, I saw Bryson DeChambeau a few weeks ago at the range. I was kind of pissed because I was hoping he was like going to walk by, but he ended up playing on, if you've seen like Dragonfly, the whole 10 right next to the driving range. There's the whole 10 and it literally lines up right next to the driving range, like you're hitting the same way that they're going for hole 10, but the tee box is like covered in trees, so I wasn't able to see where he was or when did he hit or whatever. I did hear it. I was like, oh, that ball flew. It sounded a little bit different, but
that sounds different.
Yeah, no, I was like, dude, that's nuts. And he didn't look as bulky as I expected him to be, and I was only able to
He's cut, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, he is. And I was only able to yell out to him that he needs to play in the way back tees. And that's the thing about LIV. Like, you're able to – he has so much fun on his YouTube channel with, playing with long drive champions, playing like I think they did like a scramble with like Bob Does Sports. And I'm like, dude, you got to get out here to Dragonfly. Play Dragonfly in the way back tees. It's the longest course in California. It's like over 8,000 yards. And it's
Dragonfly?
They have way back tees. I'm telling you, they're literally called the way back tees, and it's over 8,000 yards. Like, it's nuts. They totally messed up on an opportunity. They should have called them just the Bryson tees. They could have easily done that, and that would have attracted way more people. But they call them the way back tees. And yeah, dude, if you look it up now on their website, like, so I think some of their par fives are like 650. Like I think 18 or 17. If you've played Dragonfly 17, that really long par 5, it is long, dude, ridiculously long, especially when you are playing from the blues.
I've never played Dragonfly out of all my years of living.
Oh wow, okay.
In the Central Valley, I've never played it.
It's not a bad course, dude.
But I've only played one course in my entire life that's over 8,000 yards, and it's called the Reserve, or the Preserve. It's It's over in Morgan Hill in San Jose.
Okay.
It's literally like the most exclusive, unheard of golf course in all of the Bay Area, and um, yeah, it's I've only played it once, and it was when I was caddying out there for a summer, and on Tuesdays was when you could get out there and play. That is the longest course I have ever played, and it wasn't even like a windy day. And I literally watched Michelle Wie and Steph Curry shoot 65s out there like it was
What?
nothing.
Well, dude, I'm looking up the
Yeah.
I'm looking up the course right now, or at least the scorecard. I was wrong about that 17. 17 on the Wayback Tees at Dragonfly Golf Club, Bryson's home course in Madera, California. 702 yards. And it brings it to
Have you
8,073 yards for the Wayback Tees.
8,073 yards? Do they have like a freaking is there like a par 6 out there?
There should be. That 17 should be. I mean, let's see. Let's see. Their first par 5, 544. Second par 5, 627. Let's see. They have a par 3 hole 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hole 5, par 3, 264 yards.
Jesus. All right. Well, I guess that's where we're gonna have to play.
Dude, we should definitely do like a Fore Dads like video from the Wayback Tees. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, geez, dude, that is a long course. I had never
the goal is like, can we break 90? Or for me, can I break 90? Can Julio break 80?
Yeah, Jesus, dude, that's insane. I've never even heard of that. That's wild.
Like,
that is a number. That's like a number and a half, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That is impressive.
Yeah, imagine playing the 700 yard where like I'm barely getting used to hitting my 3-wood consistently. Well, at least hitting it like off the ground. And if I were to hit a 300-yard drive,
I would just go driver. I mean,
yeah, but I can't hit a driver off the deck like you can. But the thing is on that par 17, on the par 5, hole 17, you have to hit it around the trees on the second shot. You can't go directly through the hole. So either I think you have to really
like a draw.
It's a draw. You have to draw it around the tree. Like there's literally like trees right in the middle of the hole, so it's a straight hole. It's not like a dog leg or anything like that. But it's nuts, dude. It would definitely be a fun one for us to definitely do in the future. Next time you're in town, since it's literally right across the street from me now. But I mean, I feel like for right now, you know, just to play with you would be a blast. It's been way too long, man. That was a fun round that we had. Beautiful day, dude. I think it was like mid-70s as well. You remember playing with that? You remember playing out there as well with like, we were making great time. We played with 2 random guys having a good time. And you remember that group that was behind us that kept on like almost hitting into us? And they like were not even, there was a foursome that they were playing a twosome because they would hit their ball and not even play it, and like they would speed up right behind us, and we got the marshal right behind us talking to us like, hey, can you guys hurry up? It's like, dude, we're actually playing. They're not. Like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
Man. All right, that'll do it, guys. Thank you guys for listening and hopefully watching. We've been trying to get our podcast set up with video and webcam, but it hasn't worked out over the last few podcasts. So hopefully I was able to cut this up and you guys are able to see our faces for the first time. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and you'll be with us next week for episode 4. Hopefully we'll have a World Series champion by then, and we'll be able to talk about that. And I'll go over my stock yardages like we did with Julio's tonight. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.